you're not muscling. They call it freak when you're not muscling. They call it freak when you're not muscling. They call it freak when you're not muscling. They call it freak.
What's up, sports fans, man? You got FanDuel Zaya here with another banger I need to bring to y'all tonight. I know we on the late tip side of things, but man, that 11 Warriors and that Ohio State coaching interview dropped, so I had to bring y'all this banger before the night end. So I'm gonna have two parts to this show. I'm gonna do defense. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. I'm gonna come to y'all what I felt from the coaching the offensive side of the aspect of the Ohio State coaching interviews and my thoughts and my views and what I received from the coaches speaking today. They interviewed all the coaches, all the coordinators, Ryan Day, Matt Patricia, Tim Walton. So they ran through everybody for real. And there was some little nuggets that they dropped that we gotta definitely dish out to you guys and let y'all guys get a new insight from the very first media day that we done had. But just to start off with Ryan Day, you know, the man in charge, the leader in the room. So the big thing that I got from Ryan Day today, with his interview with 11 Warriors, is that we're playing from behind. Just with the long natty run, instead of doing 5 weeks of spring practice, we're going to only have 4. So that's the main thing that I received from his interview, but also that the coaching hiring and all the coaches that we lost, it took more time than necessary because he didn't want to get it wrong. So, I mean, he feel like he got it right. I think we got a good group, so I'm going to respect that. And hopefully the lost week and the reps that we lost won't be too much for this team to manage early on in the year. But I definitely think that he came out confident with all the new staff hires that he has made. But not to sit here and say like I didn't used to be optimistic a few weeks back. He gave me much more comfort that he made the right calls and all the guys that he hired or promoted within the coaching staff unit. So very confident in Ryan Day and his decisions that he's made. I think that everything is going to definitely be looking on the up and up. Another key concern, though, that I do have that Ryan Day mentioned is that the roster breakdown actually went from 125 guys down to 105 guys. So a lot of what he spoke about was basically managing the health and managing, I guess, the workload that guys have all throughout the spring. Because losing 20 guys off your roster and we just had a long run, a long natty run, then that definitely just means that some guys just don't need to wrap up super hard on certain days. So health is going to be key. Roster management is key. Like I said, just going from 125 to 105 is crucial. That is crucial. And definitely trying to give guys the same reps that they've been getting prior to coming from 125 is going to be key too, because we've seen how important that was once you got to the college football playoff. And in our case, that was super important because of injuries, of course. So hopefully we can manage that, and hopefully the sports science team is up to par and we can keep on managing what we need to manage to be healthy by the end of the year and make another natty run. You heard it here. Um, but let's go ahead and tap into Coach Larry Johnson, defensive line coach. No, I don't want to start with Larry Johnson. Let's start with Matt Patricia, DC. He's actually a co-DC with Tim Walton, um, which I was kind of optimistic about that. That was one of the things I was optimistic uh, about at the beginning. Shout out to Level Up Sports 10. What's up with you, Brody? I appreciate you tuning in. Um, but like I was saying, Matt Patricia, I was kind of optimistic about him being co-DC and Tim Walton DC. But as I broke down the interview process, I was I came out feeling more comfortable, I should say, because now I understand that it's really Matt Patricia's defense. Um, it's just that Tim Walton is such an OG. We had to give him that title just so that everybody can be on the same page because it's things that Tim Walton has been here for that he can implement on this multiple defense that Matt Patricia plans on to unload on the whole country. Um, you know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, you chilling out, relaxing, my guy, enjoying the Friday away from that cooking. I feel you, my dog, man. Hey, we always working, bro. That's one thing we always doing. You feel me? Um, but like I was saying, Matt Patricia, he's going to employ that multiple defense. That multiple defense is going to look many different ways. Sometimes you're going to see the 3-4. Sometimes you're going to see the 4-2-5. A lot of, not a lot, but equal amount of cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, even zero. And we might even run some cover 5 if you know what cover 5 is as well. But um, in all, I love Matt Patricia, man. He brings energy to the defense. I always thought Jim Knowles was like such a laid back and like kind of a awkward guy. But he had football knowledge. He had great football knowledge. That's one thing he did have. Not to say anything about his coaching style, but I think the energy that Matt Patricia is bringing to the table is going to bode well for a lot of these cats that they want to say they're less experienced, which they are, just because they have never been starters. You know, they've never been starters. These are guys we're talking about that played 25 snaps, maybe a game. I mean, they've been repping out though, but it was so much experience of guys that was playing 40 and 50 snaps a game that maybe they don't have the quote unquote experience that you would look for returning on your defense. But with this multiple look that we're going to feel and we're going to see is that guys are going to be able to be put in the right spot because it's not like we're losing like we're going less in talent. We're not taking a downgrade in talent. We're taking a downgrade in experience. So Matt Patricia coming in, he's going to be able to actually study the players that he has on the roster and put them in better positions and with different packages to employ a defense that should be just as good and just as solid as last year. And that's what I love because we got dudes on the roster. They might not be the same dudes that we had last year, but if you employ them right, they will be them same type of caliber dudes. And watch and mark my words, I have full faith in Matt Patricia. I'm running on a 10 with Matt Patricia. So that's step one with Matt Patricia. And I'm going to go ahead and move to the cornerbacks because Tim Walton is the co-DC. He's the cornerback coordinator. And one thing I understand about Tim Walton is he's an OG. And another thing, too, is Tim Walton and Matt Patricia actually coached together before. So they already have that rapport. They already had that rapport. They coached at Syracuse back in 2002 with each other. So they already had a working relationship. So I think that's another reason why Ryan Day went ahead and made co-DCs because they could put their brains together and really employ whatever they need to. But just to talk about the room and the nuggets that um, Tim Walton dropped as well is he's very high on the guys in his room. And why not? We CBU anyway. Why not be high on these guys? We got Igmanosin. He's a starting corner that returned from last year. We got Jermaine Matthews. He played a lot of meaningful football last year. And not to mention, we're real high on the young guys that's on the roster. Bryce West, he name dropped Bryce West. Aaron Scott, he name dropped Aaron Scott. And Devin Sanchez. And we haven't did a lot of field work yet. As Tim Walton was explaining, we haven't did a lot of field work yet. So no, we really don't. We haven't seen the football side of things, but just Devin Sanchez getting on campus and putting 15 pounds of muscle on already to his high school body that he had, which is 6'2". He was 6'2", 170, so he's probably 6'2", 185 now. That bodes well. That shows you the young man work. You know, he works. So I just love Tim Walton, though. He's an OG in the game. He's been doing it for years and years and years. He done sent countless cornerbacks to the first round of the NFL draft. He done got people drafted and made a lot of money. So I got full faith in Tim Walton and everything he was explaining. I think Matt Patricia and how intelligent he is and his NFL experience built with Tim Walton and him knowing the culture of Ohio State because he's been there for years and all the accolades and things that he's done for the Ohio State University. I think that's a match made in heaven. And they already know each other. So it's not like last year when we had Jim Knowles and Larry Johnson beefing, you know. So that's how I feel about Tim Walton. And Level Up Sports 10 said cover 5 is dangerous with the right pieces. Absolutely. But I think any defense can be dangerous if you employ it right. But that's a fact, though. The cover 5 can be dangerous. What else here? I already showed that one. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and move forward. This is going to be a quick live, man. This is a quick live. I'm just breaking down the defense, like I said, this night. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. live. You can catch me at 7 p.m. and I'm going to break down all the offensive coaches. But defensive line coach Larry Johnson, man, the OG of the game, the OG of the whole crew. You know what I'm saying? Larry Johnson. So with that multiple defense, man, it sounds like we about to implore CJ Hicks. You know, when I did the live stream a couple weeks back, you can get on FanDuel, Zaya, WTP Sports News, or Level 10 to check that out. We're on all platforms as well, like my main man, Level Up Sports 10 said. But with this multiple defense, a guy like CJ Hicks is key because now you actually have that, like what Jim Knowles tried to implore was that jack position. Now you actually have a guy that you can actually use that. And that was the fight with Larry Johnson. He wanted 3 technique, and Jim Knowles wanted the jack position. So what you have is a guy like CJ Hicks that's really not a linebacker, but he really not a defensive end, but he's super uber athletic, and he was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. I just don't think we had the right fit as a coach to actually implore him. I think Jim knows if he got what he wanted in a defense setting of how he wanted to run his defense, I think he could have been the guy to implore that. But him and Larry Johnson was butting heads so much that we could not figure it out. But I don't think that'll be a situation this year with Matt Patricia's plan to run multiple looks. That's why I think we hired him, because we have guys on the roster that can stand up in that jack. But we also got guys that's not CJ Hicks, and super uber athletic as him, that we can actually implore in the 3 technique. So that's where I thought the confusion came last year. And we have not been able to figure out how to get CJ Hicks on the field. And he is one of the most talented guys that we had on the roster. He reminds me so much of Jalen Walker that's in the draft this year. He's a guy like that. super fast, quick first step. He just cannot understand, and he just don't understand like where he's supposed to be sometimes. That's just a guy that you supposed to implore just to rush the passer though, because that's what he do. He can rush the passer. He's athletic just to get to the quarterback. That's what he can do. If he can't think the game, just let him play fast. You got to find a way to put a guy like that on the field. So having a multiple defense, you can create certain packages where he don't got to come on the field and think. He can come on the field 3rd and 7, and he can rush the quarterback. That's what he need to be. He be standing up in a jack position, and he could just rush. That's what he need to be. Um, he need to keep on developing his game though, because if he develop his game more, he could make a lot of money. But this is what he is right now, and we got to find a way to deploy guys that we got like this. This is a fact because it's being wasted talent right now. Um, but I'm super excited. I'm super excited that Larry Johnson, and this is a nugget I got too though. Larry Johnson and James Laurinaitis got him. So it's not like he going through reps just at one position. He's actually going through reps at 2 different positions. This is how you know you might see 3-4 look at times. This is how you know you might see 4-2-5 looks at times. You're going to see different looks all year long, and it's going to be a problem for offenses because they're not going to know what's going on when you're switching it up as much as we're going to. But super excited about guys on that defensive line. Edric Houston, Caden Curry, Kenyatta Jackson, Caden McDonald is probably going to be the dog of the group. But what it's looking like this year, instead of running just a box just to keep the quarterback in pocket, it sounds like we're going to deploy those defensive linemen to actually get after it. Man, we haven't got after it since probably we ain't got after it in a while, man. Chase Young, we haven't got after it since Chase Young, dog. You cannot tell me like we're up there in DEU, defensive NU, we're up there. You cannot tell me we had as least amount of sacks that we had last year and the least amount of holding calls that we had last year, and we're Ohio State, man. You gotta deploy these missiles that you got. We the silver bullets, man. Let's get after it. So it sounds like that's what we headed towards, and I'm very excited to see what the numbers turn out to be at the end of the year for that defensive line and those linebackers as well, because we will blitz a little bit. Probably not as much as Jim knows, but we will blitz. And on to the next group. I always said I was most excited about the cornerbacks, but this is my next most exciting group on my defense this year, which is my linebackers. Shout out to defensive coordinator James Laurinaitis, not defensive coordinator, positional group coach James Laurinaitis. You know, he's a homegrown guy, built and through and through, bleed Buckeye, scarlet and gray. So I'm very excited about this group. He name dropped. We know about Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, but he name dropped Peyton Pritchard, and Garrett Stover. Them are the 2 young bucks. They roommates, so they locked in with it. Them are the next guys up after the 3 that we got. That's the older guys. But he also name dropped Riley Pettijohn, and I can't think of the other kid's name right now. He name dropped the other kid too, though. But very excited about that group. I think Garrett Stover, which is Kay Stover's younger brother, and I think Peyton Pritchard, them guys are monsters. I know what I have in Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles. I already think that group is going to be one of the better groups on the defense next year, just at the beginning of the year, because both of those guys are super, super experienced. But Peyton Pritchard and Garrett Stover are 2 guys that just bleed and ooze out to me that I think is Ohio State guys. Like one remind me of Tough Borland, and the other one, I think Peyton Pritchard remind me of Tough Borland. Garrett Stover remind me more of a I don't know. He gets sideline to sideline. He's originally a safety. They put about 25 pounds on him and moved him down to like a Mike or outside. So I don't know. Them guys are gonna be tough though, man. They're both redshirt freshmen, I believe. So they're the next guys up. They're gonna get some rotation in the two deep this year, and them guys will be the next guys up. So super excited about that group. CJ Hicks will be in different looks though. This is where I say CJ Hicks will be an X factor next year. Sometimes he'll be in that jack position. Sometimes he might be at that linebacker position. But if he's on the field, you can count on him rushing the passer. I can almost guarantee you that because he is the most athletic. Ooh, him and Sonny. I don't know who more athletic. They both athletic though. They super athletic. So between him and Sonny, I don't know who really more athletic. But if you see CJ Hicks on the field, you know he gonna be rushing. That's one thing I do know. They got more faith in Sonny Styles dropping the coverage just because he's a former safety. So super excited about that group, man. That group is gonna be killer, man. How many linebackers might be in rotation for the Bucks? So, like I was saying, Arvell Reese and Sonny is gonna be the main starting linebackers. What up with you too, WTP? I'm glad to have you in here. But Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles gonna get most of the reps on any given Saturday. They're gonna get most of the reps. CJ Hicks, like I said, he's gonna go between DN and linebacker. He's been repping with both. But I could see Peyton Pritchard and Cade Stover rotating, but not early in the season because I don't think they have faith and confidence in them. Honestly, I think they think they're super talented. But maybe early in the season they're gonna get reps. It's probably later on in the middle where they're not gonna get reps, and then they're gonna see at the end of the year, like we did this year. You gotta rotate these guys. You gotta just trust it. So, I mean, I think all them guys in that room is gonna get reps. I just don't think none of the freshman guys is gonna get reps. We got 3 freshman linebackers, so that group is what 3, 6, is 8 deep. It's really 8 deep, but only 3 guys is gonna play. Oh, I guess against your boys, Texas. Only 3 guys is gonna play a linebacker against Texas. We're gonna try to come out there and win that game. But over the next couple cupcake games, I expect all them guys to play. Probably up until like week 6 for real. All them guys will see the field. It's just you don't want to rep them in the Texas game. You don't want to even put nobody on exposure notice like early on if you're not trusting it or you think they're lacking in experience. So I don't know. I think Peyton Pritchard and Garrett Stover both need to be on the field early and often though because you got to rep them guys for next year. You're going to lose both of your linebackers. Them the next 2 guys up. And I'm very trusting in those guys. It just they're very inexperienced. Like they both redshirted last year. So neither one of them played 4 games. I think they seen time last year. It's just they didn't see no time. You know what I'm saying? Which freshman linebacker has the highest upside? Definitely Riley Pettijohn. Riley Pettijohn is going to be an absolute monster, man. This kid, I done watched his tape plenty of times. He's sideline to sideline, man. Hey, and he ain't, when you watch somebody's tape, you worry about, all right, how do they fill the hole? Like, are they going to come up and fill that hole? You know, and that's a Texas kid. He came out of Texas. I don't even understand how we got him out of Texas because, like, honestly, when you at Ohio State, if you in your position group, when we recruit you, you got to be one of the best at your position groups. So you know he one of the best at his position groups. I don't know how y'all passed up on him. He passed me off not going to Texas. Oh, okay, yeah. See, he out of McKinney, I think. McKinney Tech. Yep, he out of McKinney, Texas. And man, he's a beast, man. Hey, they really was talking about him being able to see the field as Sonny Styles actually went to the NFL draft. Just Sonny came back, so they was like, nah, he ain't gonna get no burn this year. He gonna red shirt. We're probably playing. Really, I don't really see how he's gonna pass up Peyton Pritchard or Garrett Stover, honestly. But they just so high on him that they was talking like this kid gonna see the field regardless, you know. And lately we've been getting them type of freshmen. So who am I to put it past it, you know? But like I'm saying, he was a multiple sport athlete. He competed in 100 yard. He competed in 100-meter dash. So you know he got speed to him. He he said we couldn't even get him to think about us. Hey, I mean, sometimes that Ohio State just run through your blood. That's just all it is, probably. You know, sometimes it just run through your blood, man. You know, it's a big brand. Sometimes you just grow up loving Ohio State. Once you receive that offer, you gone. I remember my little partner, man. Um, his sisters went to Africentric with me, and he was a big time basketball player, man. And he used to always tell us, man, listen, when I get this North Carolina offer, I'm committing. And he got that North Carolina offer and he committed. And he from Columbus, Ohio. So sometimes it work out like that, you know. That's just how it go. But now I'm on to the safeties coach, Matt Guerrera. I got a lot of good things out of Matt Guerrera too. We know what Caleb Downs is, but what I mainly got out of him is that it's really Jalen McClain's job to lose. I was a high hoper of I want to see both him and Malik Hartford. Maybe we will see some type of rotation back there. But the way Matt Guerrera was talking, it looked like it's Jalen McClain's job to lose. But like I said, if y'all go check out my live that I did about the OSU depth chart breakdown, please tune into that. We're on all the channels. You can get it at WTB Sports Dudes, Level Up Sports 10s, or FanDuel Zaya. I said that coming out of the Woody, they say Jalen McClain is a dude. Like, I ain't talking about no regular cat. I'm talking about they talking about him like he's a dude. And not to mention, I actually did see him on the field more last year. So me even hoping that it was I just really wanted to be a competition. I want the best man to win for real. I don't know. I'm probably play college football too much. I always put Malik Hartford in. So that might be what's really going on for real. But if Jalen McClain is the dude that they saying he is, then go ahead and implore that dude, you know. You said outside of Downs, how much experience is the safety spot? Like I said, Jalen McClain seen the field a decent amount last year. I hope, though, that Downs can kind of carry the slack at the beginning of the year, because I think it is going to be some drop off, because Lathan Ransom got better from year to year to year since his sophomore year. I don't remember him when he was a freshman. I remember seeing him as a sophomore though, and the jump he made from a sophomore to a senior is ridiculous. It's off the charts. Somebody better pick him up, because one thing he do is he lay the boom. If you want to run coverage safety, he is going to be great for your team in the NFL. Yeah, he struggled at times in coverage sometimes, but I mean, everybody got a weak spot on their game. I don't think he's bad in coverage. I just don't think he's the greatest. Even if you talk about Downs struggles in coverage at times too. Not a lot, but it's at times. So, but just to speak about Jalen McClain a little more is, they say this kid is going to like possibly be like almost on the level of Caleb Downs. So that's just high praise. I don't know. I haven't watched the tape enough to give you a definitive answer on Jalen McClain about if he gonna be that type of guy. But man, listen, I got high hopes for him. You know, I think he's a Florida kid too. I think he a Florida kid. So I mean, them Florida kids is made different too. You know what I'm saying? So we recruit with the best of the best anyway at all position groups. So I don't think we're bringing in no scrub. I think he's definitely uber talented. But will he look what he gonna look like? How he's supposed to look, I should say. Oh no, he a Jersey kid. Okay, he's a Jersey kid. He out of Jersey. But is he gonna look like what he need to look like early in the year when we do got that tough matchup against Texas? That's the big thing. Yes, sir. We snagged Sperry out of Texas. He's really a 5 star. They gave him a 4 star. I mean, some recruiting services might have him at 5. Somebody might have him at 4. The numbers, the numbers. Level up Sports 10. The numbers don't matter. It's about your scouting department, man. You gotta really have a great scouting department. It ain't about your stars. I done seen 3 star. Denzel Burke was a 3 star. He came in and started damn near from day one. So it ain't about your stars, man. It ain't. Is you a dog? Can you ball? Like we got a lot of dudes coming out of the neighborhood in the city like that. You feel me? So it ain't really about your stars, man. Downs out of Texas too. I don't. Where is Caleb? Nah, is he from? I don't know where he from, man. I don't know where he from. I really don't know where he from. But Matt Guerrera did name drop Fahim what is his name? Fahim Delane. Fahim Delane was like the number 2 safety in the class or something. Um, they were very high on Fahim. No, I don't think he was number 2. Trey McNutt was 1. He was up there though. I think he was in the top 5 as in his position group. So Fahim Delane though, they were really high on him. I don't think he'll see the field at all. Don't get it twisted. I'm just saying he was name dropped in the interview. Um, I think that he's a big kid. I mean, he came from high school at 210, 6'3". So they might put like maybe 10 more pounds on him, get him to 220. Um, he real fluid though. I've seen him 7-on-7 action. Haven't actually watched the tape on Fahim Delane. But I don't know. He's gonna be great. Maybe in the you guys won't see him this year. Y'all see him next year. That he gonna red shirt this year, work and work and work and work. They might throw him out in some bum action 1 or 2 games. He'll dress every day, but he won't. Y'all really won't see him at all. But another kid that they name dropped in that position group is Leroy Baker. Yeah, Leroy Roker. So 3 star kid, not really too familiar with him, but they said he been working and he been making plays. And I'm a firm believer that it's really Jalen McClain's job to lose, just by the way Matt Guerrero was talking. And based off of the on-field action we seen last year, I just don't see him being able to jump a kid like Jalen McClain. Jalen McClain was a mid 4 star prospect. It's his job to lose, man, really, honestly. I think Malik Hartford is older, though. So it's kind of crazy. If he a dude like that, then he just a dude like that. You wasn't playing over Lathan Ransom or Caleb Downs last year. So that's just one of the things that go with it. You got to wait your turn at Ohio State. Texas got the number 1 safety, Jonah Williams, I think. Oh, you might be right. Trey McNutt was out of I want to say Shaker Heights, Ohio. I think he was number 2. He was either 1 or 2. It was one of them. I just don't remember which one it was because I know that was a big recruit that we had lost that we was in the battle for. He from Glenville. That's where he from. He from Cleveland, Glenville. He's from Cleveland, Glenville. Yes. And I think he might. If your guy is number 1, you might be right. Trey McNutt, he was number 2 then. No, that's not his name. Oh, okay. It's not Jonah Williams. Okay. It's something though, because Trey McNutt was number 2, I think. Now that I think about it, but he was out of Shaker Heights. Shaker Heights is in Cleveland. He out of Shaker Heights or Glenville, one of them. But anytime you want to go get a kid out of Glenville, you got to go kiss Ted Ginn Sr.'s ring. Ted Ginn Sr. tells all the kids in Cleveland where to go. So I don't think we went down there and kissed the ring and told him, all right, he need to come to Ohio State. No, you're not gonna get nobody out of Cleveland unless you go mess with and tap into the OG Ted Ginn Sr. He trained all them kids out there, regardless of what school they go to. He does all of it. And he's plugged in with all the college coaches. So He gonna tell a kid, you should go there, you should go here, you should be there. And it reminded me of Coach Vic from back in the day. Shout out to Coach Vic, Victor Dandridge. He always used to be one of them guys too. Like he'd tell you, like, you need to go there. He always told me I should go here, I should go there. So shout out to Coach Vic, man. But that's pretty much the rundown that I had. Just to do some quick stuff. Like I said, y'all could tune in at 7 p.m. tomorrow. I'll definitely go over the offense. I don't want to overfeed y'all tonight, but that's the breakdown on the DC's 11 Warriors. Shout out to them 11 Warriors, boy, man. Such a great interview. Tomorrow, like I said, we're going to get into all the offensive position group coaches, man. Hey, because this how it's turning out to be is, now that I've seen all the defensive coaches talk, I've seen all the offensive ones too, but I'm going to talk about the defensive coaches. How I've seen all the defensive coaches break it down. I know they're all on the same page as Matt Patricia. That's all I want to see is unity, because it was so much beef going on last year. I don't even know how we did it. Really, Ryan Day started putting his foot in people's mouths. That's why he deserved that $12.5 million that he get a year, because he make the right calls. So, hey, if y'all don't like it, fight me. I'm out. Peace.